the day. I'm actually on the way to take my Nclex as we speak. It's like 8:30 right now. I tested at 10, and I'm gonna see if they'll let me take it earlier. If they'll let me start earlier if I get there early. So yeah, I'm on the way. I'm really stressed out. I have a lot of anxiety right now because it's Nclex. And I'm nervous. I haven't eaten anything. I didn't sleep that good last night. I'm not following any of the rules, the test taking tips, but here we are. I'm excited though. I'm excited to get it over with. I ain't gonna lie. I graduated at the end of August. It's now like the middle of October, and I hate that I waited so long to take it, but here we are. It doesn't matter. So I will check back in with you guys when I get to the testing center because it's too bright and I need to pay attention. I need to just focus. So I'll check back in with you guys when I park. So I just pulled up to the testing center. It is like 9:07. And I think I'm about to go in. I'm probably going to sit out here for maybe about 10 more minutes and just calm my nerves down a little bit, take some deep breaths, really get myself together. But then I'm going to go ahead and go in and see if they'll let me start early. Wish me luck. I'll let you guys know how it went when I get out. And then I'm going to do the Pearson View trick later on today to just, I guess, see if it's accurate. And let you guys know how that works for me. Yeah, I'm very nervous. I'm nervous. I feel like I prepared as much as I could. I feel like I've done everything that I could to pass at this point. So now I just have to take it. So I'm trying to just kind of stay in that mindset of it'll be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. But I'm nervous. So I will check back in with you once I finish my test. Hopefully I'm not in tears when I come out of here. Hopefully I'm not super stressed out or sad or any of that. Hopefully I have good spirits. I feel good energy. And like I said, I'll do the Pearson View trick and we'll see if it's accurate. And then tomorrow I'll get up and check the status of my license. I'm excited, but I will see you guys in a few. So I just got out of my test. I don't know how that went. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't know how that went. My test cut off after 75, but I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. I don't feel good or bad about anything. I don't feel super confident at all. I don't feel like, I hope I ain't fail shit. I don't know, y'all. It wasn't really what I expected, I think. I'm not gonna say that it was what I expected, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like they should tell you what you make as soon as you make it. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go get some food and try not to be stressed out about this all day. And then when I get home later, I will do my Pearson View trick to see. I almost don't want to do it though now. Now I'm scared to do it because I don't know what just happened. I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I completely failed. I don't feel like I failed. I ain't fail. I'm gonna just say that. I didn't fail. But I'm nervous. I ain't gonna flex. I'm nervous because what? At one point they were just asking me stuff and I'm like, I don't, what is this? So we'll see. I don't know. I'm getting ready to try this Pearson View trick. I am really nervous. It's been maybe like, I don't know, It's 6:30 now, so it's been a long time since I got my confirmation email. But I'm getting ready to do it. I don't know how you're supposed to do it though, so I'm gonna look real quick. Apparently you're supposed to go on here and sign in. Am I supposed to sign in? Log in, answer questions about my school, enter my payment information the exact same except for the expiration date. This is giving me anxiety. But I'm gonna do it for y'all, cause said put everything in but my card number. I mean, put everything in the same. Okay, so I'm putting in my card, y'all. Change the expiration date. Is that what the people told me to do? Change the expiration date. Okay. Ooh, I got stress. My heart is beating. Oh. Ooh. I think I passed, y'all. I got the good pop-up. Ooh, my heart beating fast. I can't make another registration. I'm ready to cry. I can't make another registration. I'm stressed out. Okay. I'm stressed out. I gotta call some people and I'll come back. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I'm back. It has been an unreasonably long amount of time since I filmed my video. I've literally started my job like a month into my residency, but I wanted to come in this and just kind of talk about how I prepared for my NCLEX, what I used, what tips and tricks I have, or just advice, not really tips and tricks, but just advice. For one, I use UWorld to study. So my nursing program actually gave us a Hearst review that we had to go to, and then also the Hearst review book. And I didn't really care for Hearst that much. It felt very much like information overload. It felt like they were just going way too deep into everything, and I didn't find it helpful at all. So I literally did not use that to study. Did my Hearst review that I had to do and never looked at it again. I did purchase a UWorld subscription. One of my classmates facilitated for us, and we were actually able to get like a little discount because more than like 25 of us signed up for it. So I would definitely look into that. I recommend UWorld. I found it helpful, except after taking the test, I don't necessarily, in my opinion, think that the UWorld questions compare with the NCLEX questions. I found UWorld helpful because they have very, very good rationales, and they go into a lot of detail with their rationales as far as what the answer is, why it is the answer, and that sort of thing. I just don't find that the questions were really similar to NCLEX questions. I feel like the NCLEX questions were a lot broader and UWorld was kind of specific. I do recommend it to study though, just because I know for me, doing practice questions is helpful. So I recommend UWorld for that. I also listen to Mark Clement lectures. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Spotify. He is I don't want to say professor. He's not a professor. He used to work for Nclex. He used to be one of the people who wrote Nclex questions, and now he just teaches classes on how to pass Nclex. His lectures, and they come with like little workbooks where it's like fill in the blank and, you know, kind of to help you follow along with the lectures. But I found his lectures extremely helpful to kind of get a grasp on the concepts that I've never really understood. He makes everything really simple. The way that he breaks things down, the way that he kind of comes up with little mnemonics for you to remember, or the way he even explains it to where it's like, oh, that's never made sense in my head, but like it makes perfect sense when you're saying it. I absolutely recommend his lectures. I believe there are 12 of them, and they typically range from about an hour to 2 hours depending on which lecture it is. But I didn't take any notes when I listened to his lectures. I actually used to just go to the like the gym or the track and like work out while I was listening to them. But I found myself talking back to him, like he would be going through his lecture, and I would find myself responding to him once I grasped the concept. I didn't feel like it was necessary to take notes, but I'm also not a note taker. I didn't take any notes in school either. So you know, you got to do what works best for you. So if you need to take notes, by all means do so. But those were my two study tools that I used to study for Nclex. Also, I had this whole plan when I graduated, how I'm going to study for Nclex, how many questions I'm going to do, the way that my study schedule is going to be set up, and literally none of that panned out for me. I found that, so I graduated in August. I graduated at the end of August, and I took my Nclex in the middle of October. I regret waiting so long to take it. I know people like who graduated with me and they took their Nclex the next day and passed. I know people who took it like a month later. I took it so far past my graduation date because I had planned on going on vacation, and I just wanted to make sure when I came back from vacation that I still had a good amount of time to study before my test. But I regret waiting so long because it was so much anxiety. Like, I felt like by the time my test came, I was so anxious about it. Like, I really wanted to change my test date, and I actually looked into it, but they really didn't have any. They had like a test date the week before what I was gonna take it, so I just ended up waiting. But like, I was so anxious because it's also like seeing all your classmates taking it and they're passing, and then it's like, dang, I still have a month left to take it. I don't know. For me, waiting so late, I regretted it, and I wish that I would have just taken it sooner. It's over now, so it's like, you know, it is what it is, but I definitely wish that I wouldn't have waited so long to take it. But my original plan, like I said, was to like study every day and do a certain amount of questions every day. I told myself I was going to do at least 75 questions a day, and then just build up to 145, so that way if I had to take every test question on Nclex, that like I wouldn't be exhausted from doing it. All that went out the window. I didn't do any of that. I did study, and I definitely did questions, but honestly I didn't do a minimum amount of questions every day. I kind of just did what I felt like doing. Some days I did 120 questions, some days I did 20, and that's all I could bring myself to do, so that's all I did. Towards the like getting closer to my test, I did do longer questions. Like, I did 75. I was doing 100 a day, maybe like the week before my test. But like building up to it, I really did not follow any kind of study plan like I thought I was going to. I really wasn't, and it got to a point where I really wasn't motivated to do it, honestly. Like, I was over it. I was tired of looking at questions. I was tired of looking at UWorld. I was tired of listening to Mark Clement. Like, I was over it. So I really just did what I could do. Some days I didn't do. I think I did questions for the most part every day, but honestly sometimes that meant 5. Like, sometimes 5 questions was all I could bring myself to do, and that's all I did. And like I said, sometimes I sat down and did 200 questions a day, because you can put the UWorld app on your phone and you can just take the quizzes on your phone. And so sometimes I just laid in the bed and did questions if I was bored or if I just had free time, and then, you know, it kind of worked out like that. I can't say I don't recommend what I did because I passed in 75 questions. I think you have to know yourself You have to know what kind of test taker you are. You have to know how comfortable you feel with the current information. If you need more study time, more practice time, then by all means, I think you should put more energy into it. But at the same time, for me, I kind of just felt like I knew what I knew. And I wasn't trying to learn any new information. Now, some stuff, like some stuff I understood, but not like super well. Those are the topics that I focused on, like pharmacology. I'm terrible at pharmacology. It's awful. But things like that, where it's like I have a little bit of an understanding, but I really need to like hone in and get more information. Yes, but I wasn't trying to learn just all brand new information. I didn't feel like it was going to be feasible for me to do so I didn't. Other than that, the day of the test, I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do. You know, they tell you to get a good night's sleep, wake up, eat breakfast. I didn't do any of that. Well, I slept, but I didn't do anything else. And also, side note, so the package for UWorld that I bought came with 2 practice exams. So I took the first one. Problem with that is that in my head, I don't know why, I just didn't feel like it was a full-on test, and it was. So I took the first one and I got like a very low chance of passing because I sat down for it. I was not even mentally prepared to answer that many questions. And then I started it and it was like, oh, this is a long test. And so by the middle of it, I was over it. So my very first practice exam, and I took that one before I had started studying, so I took it immediately, which I don't necessarily recommend. I feel like you should study a little bit and then take it like halfway through your test, you know, when your test date is coming. But I took that one. I got a very low chance of passing, which stressed me out. Obviously not enough, because then my study habits were trash. But took that. I did not take the second exam. So I was going to take the second exam a couple of days before my test, but all I could think about was the fact that I got that very low chance of passing on the first one. And for me, the idea that I was going to walk into my test and say I had taken that practice exam and gotten another very low chance of passing, I feel like that's all I would have been able to think about while I was taking my test, and I didn't want that to be on my mind. I didn't want it to be like, oh, I don't know the answer to this question, and I just failed that practice exam the other day. I'm getting ready to fail this NCLEX. Like, I didn't want to have that like fresh on my mind, so I never took my second exam. And I know some people don't operate like that, but for me, I think taking it and the possibility of not doing well on it would have increased my anxiety to a point that I wouldn't have performed well on my NCLEX. So I didn't take it. We'll never know what I would have gotten on it, but I did go into my NCLEX. I got there early. I didn't eat anything because, again, I know me, and me eating, like, I never eat in the morning. I'm not hungry. I was so anxious. My stomach was hurting, y'all. Like, I couldn't eat anything anyway. Like, when I tell you my anxiety was on 45, like, I was so anxious. So I got there and I sat outside for like 10 minutes, and I got there early and they let me start early too. Sidebar, I don't know if that's the same for every testing site, but I got there maybe like 45 minutes early, and they let me start when I got there. I didn't, like, my exam time, they didn't make me wait until then, thank God. But I got there early, sat in my car for about 10 minutes, calmed down, told myself I had it, told myself I knew what I knew and I was gonna pass, took some deep breaths, and I went in and took my test. I did wear, they let you have like noise canceling headphones. I did put mine on because people were in there typing. I don't know what test they were taking, because everybody isn't taking NCLEX. Like, it's a testing site, so people are taking different exams. But somebody was in there like typing, like actively typing, and I could hear them click-clacking on the keyboard, and it was driving me crazy. So I put my headphones on. Honestly, I didn't even use my little scratch paper. I wrote something on it. What did I write on my scratch paper? I don't know. No telling. I don't know what I wrote on my scratch paper, but it wasn't anything long. I wrote like one thing and then I didn't use it anymore. But I just want to say that for those of you who are going into taking your NCLEX, you got it. Like, Just go in. I can't tell you not to be anxious or nervous about it, because I trust me, like, I know the feeling, because I definitely was. But you absolutely got it. You have it under control. And also, if you don't pass the first time, that's okay. One of my really good friends, she didn't pass her first time and she took it the second time and she passed. It's like, just take your time. You know, try to just breathe. Do not second guess yourself. Don't change your answers. You know, they always tell you your first thought is probably right. And for the most part, I found that to be true. Like, don't change your answers. And at the end of the day, if you are not successful, just take it again. Take it again and just don't doubt yourself. But going into it, you got it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nerve-wracking. It really, really is. But you got to just keep positive energy around you. You have to know yourself, know how you feel, do what works best for you. Don't try to follow everybody else's like plan for their studying and this, that, and the third. Like, do what you think is gonna work for you. Do what work for you in nursing school. You don't have to change up anything. If you were doing well on your test in nursing school, do that same thing to study for NCLEX. And I can't wait to hear about how all you guys pass your NCLEX. Good luck. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.